Hey guys, happy Monday evening. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to get on here tonight and show you guys several different ways that we can make some gnomes. The gnomes are just really popular right now, and there's so many cute ways to be able to make them at home. So I wanted to show you, this is what I'm going to make first, and we're just going to go ahead and paint the wood first. So underneath, this is just a 2x4 block, and you can cut them in any length that you want, but it's just a chunk of 2x4. I sanded it a little bit to get the rough edges off, but you wouldn't have to because it gets covered up with the fabric, so not a big deal. So we just cut some 2x4s to length, and we're going to go ahead then and paint that. So the bottom underneath where the beard is going to be on these gnomes, we'll paint that. For the white ones, we're going to do white paint at the bottom, and then I found this really cute scarf at Goodwill, and that has a black in it, so I'm going to do the bottom part of the wood on that one with a black color instead of the white. So we'll go ahead and just paint the bottom of your wood. You can leave this, the wood color, the wood grain, if you want to. If you make the beard thick enough, it won't show through anyway, so it really doesn't matter if you paint it either way, but we're gonna go ahead and do it this way so we don't have to use quite as much t-shirt material. This beard on this gnome was made out of t-shirt, just an old t-shirt. So I'm gonna show you guys next how to get that cut up, but first we'll get this wood painted. I just wanted to show you, just throw some paint on the bottom of a chunk of 2x4, super simple. On this one, we're gonna go ahead and do the black color, and then we'll let these dry and come back to them while I show you how to do the t-shirt. Thanks, Mom. Carol, I see, is watching, and she just said these are adorable. Thank you. They're fun. I love the gnomes. I was at TJ Maxx Home Goods and found some really cute gnomes I took some pictures of, and these are just simple ways that we can make them at home with just the things you've got laying around. So there we go. Just paint the bottom of the 2x4s. We're going to let those dry, and I'm going to show you how to cut up your pieces of t-shirt material. So when you have an old t-shirt, as you can see on this one, we just cut the bottom off of it so that we have the seam. So we just cut the bottom of the t-shirt off just like that, so we still have this seam, because what we're going to do is cut all of these pieces and then pull them up to where that seam is. So that seam will stop each of those cuts. So once you get, that's just the bottom of the t-shirt. We just cut it off, maybe 4 inches or so on it, 4 to 5, however long you want your beard. So just go ahead and cut the bottom of the t-shirt off, and then cut one end completely off. So then you're gonna have a nice long strand of beard that we're gonna keep wrapping all the way around the 2x4. So just go ahead and cut it every inch or so, 3/4 of an inch maybe. And then once you've cut that, just go ahead and rip it all the way up to that seam. And that'll kind of give you your frayed effect on it. You can rip it all the way up. I just am doing it part way just to save a little bit of time. But as you can see, it's super simple. Just go ahead and keep ripping your t-shirt material all the way around like that. I'll go ahead and finish this one off so I can show you how to wrap the board. If you get a chunk like that, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off straight, but don't worry about it too much. Again, on this, it doesn't make too much difference if it's straight or not. If you wanna be particular, go ahead. If you don't, don't. I kind of think the way I've been seeing people make all these gnomes, they all have so much personality. You can pretty much do them whatever way you want, whatever colors, whatever noses. The gal that I actually saw do this t-shirt material, Kim at Salvage Living does these, and she did denim as one of the hats. So she wrapped some denim around the top and then added a bunch of little junk pieces like nuts and bolts and stuff, which was a really cute idea for a boy gnome, and then do the little girl gnome beside her with the flowers or something. Just get creative. Find any standalone piece of wood that you can, a 2x4, a 2x6, a 4x4, any chunk of wood you have laying around. If you don't, you can always find a woodworker, bake some cookies and bring it to a nearby woodworker. Ask for some of his scrap lumber. Usually there's always some project at Goodwill that's made out of a 2x4 that you could cut up. Again, we're covering up the entire piece of wood, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like. Do one more on the end of that. So there you go. That's how we have our beard with the t-shirt. Again, we just cut off the bottom of the t-shirt and then went around and cut little 1-inch strips and then ripped them. So we have our piece of wood now, and we'll start on the back with the hot glue gun and just do a nice strip of glue across it. I guess for the camera we've got to go this way. Sorry guys. And then we'll just keep coming around. It's really not necessary to put hot glue all the way around every time. I am going to do it on the first row just to get it stuck on there nice and tight so it doesn't come off later. Are you guys all still eating leftovers tonight? We made a ham on Friday, and we've been eating ham for 3 days, so it'll be kind of nice tomorrow to have some spaghetti bake or something different. If you guys are just joining me, I'm Wendy. I want to reintroduce myself. I guess we have so many new followers on here, and some of you guys don't know me. So I'm Wendy. I live out in the country in Iowa, and I love junking, finding good deals, and then coming home and showing you guys what to make out of these good deals. A lot of the fabric pieces today, the scarves and the sweater pieces that we're going to use, I get at Goodwill. On Mondays and Thursdays, they're just 99 cents. So as you guys can see, I'm just wrapping this all the way around, kind of working my way up a little bit and sticking it down as we go. So this is what's creating our beard on these gnomes. It's just a t-shirt. I think we can make it all the way around one more time. There we go. We'll glue the back there. So there we go, that's our beard. And then I found this scarf. I thought this scarf was adorable because it had the little fuzzy on the bottom of it. So we'll just take a scarf, or I'm going to show you guys several different things that we can use here in a minute too. But with this one, we're just going to cut it off. I'm going to make the hat a little bit longer because I like the way the gnome's hat kind of falls over the end, like on this one. So it hangs lower. And then once we cut that scarf off, we're just going to go ahead and roll it up like that, so we have a nice seam on the bottom, and then lay that over our piece of wood. And then we're going to come around on the back, because you can see on this piece of scarf it's a little bit big, so we're just going to pull that tight and go ahead and fold it over and glue it down. It's the back of the gnome, so this is the part that's really going to rest against the wall and you're not going to see it, so you don't have to worry too much about that. If you wanted to, you could cut a seam down the back of it and then fold it over and do a nice glue seam on the back, so you don't have this wad sitting back here like this. For the sake of a quicker video is why I'm gluing it this way, but that is all there is to the t-shirt one. So we just do that, and then you can find these wooden beads. They've got them at Walmart, they've got them at Hobby Lobby, pretty much any craft store has got those. And then we're just going to go ahead and glue a little wooden nose right in the center. there you have it. That is it for the t-shirt gnome. And then I'm going to show you guys on this scarf that I got. It takes just a little bit for that. These buttons or these wooden beads take a little bit longer to hold on there to dry, just to make sure they adhere nice and tight. The fabric sticks pretty quickly with a glue gun, but the wood takes a little longer. It's heavier and bigger, so I like to make sure that's stuck down nice and tight before we go any further. Okay, then on this one it was just a scarf and it has these cute little frayed edges on it. So I went ahead and cut strips on this scarf all the way across the middle of it. I've got a tag left on there yet. Okay, so on this scarf, we're just gonna go the short way across the scarf and we're gonna cut a piece that's probably, again, about 4 to 5 inches long, like that, all the way across. With the t-shirt, you can kind of keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, but I really love this color, and you can't really do that. This scarf also doesn't tear very easily, so you really have to kind of cut it all the way up to the top on these. On this one with a pattern too, it kind of matters a little bit where your placement is. So as you can see on some of these, I love the way that the plaid comes all the way to the top on them. So I'm going to save that one for my front piece. And we'll go ahead and start with this one as our back piece. And I can almost make it all the way around twice, but I can cover the front twice. So we're going to go ahead and start with the scarf almost at the front instead of at the back this time, so we can make it almost all the way around again. Make our scarf go just a little bit longer this time. There you can see it ends right at the front, but it still gets across there, so we get 2 nice layers and get a nice thick beard on him, or her in this case. This would be adorable in a little girl's room. And then for this one, I'm going to start, actually, let's start maybe over on this side. Just so we don't have that same seam coming around the next time. We're going to get that covered up this way if we go the other way. And there it'll end on this side this time. So we'll just get a nice bead of glue across the top. If you guys decide to try these, I'd love to see some pictures. I think they're so fun and they're so easy, and you can do them in so many different colors and styles. Okay. Actually, I think that that's probably thick enough for this guy, so we're gonna go ahead and stop at that one, and then I'm going to use the fringe on the end of this because I thought that would be really cute and look a little bit more like a beard. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the fringe off the bottom of this scarf a little bit higher so you have enough to glue all the way around. It's kind of fun. That just adds a little bit of texture to the front. So finish gluing that down. And then on this one, we're gonna do a little white nose on this one. Whatever you guys have, if you want to use buttons or little knobs from like a drawer pull or something, you could do that. The wooden beads I think are kind of popular right now, but if you wanted to paint those too, if you don't want that wood look, you can always paint those a different color too. So we'll get the nose put on there, and then we'll go ahead and make another hat for this one. And here on this one, I'm going to show you how to wrap it around and glue it. Let's go ahead and determine where. I really like this right here, where this pattern is, so I'm going to try to make that where we roll it, and that's going to be what comes across the front of the piece of board, so that's what you see when you look at your gnome. So we'll go ahead and just roll it up to that. Oh, I think I like it with a little bit of pink too, so we're going to stop right there. And then I'm going to run some glue across there just to hold it. Then we will put it around our piece of wood and see about how wide that is. Kind of tuck that hat down in so your nose sticks out a little bit. And we're going to have to make it about that tight. So make sure your beard is out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and glue it right on the piece of wood. Run it out of glue first, though. There we go. There's so many different ways you guys can do this at home. Making a mess over here. And I kind of like the little tassel left on the end, so I'm going to glue it just a little bit going down the seam so that stays together. And then at the bottom you could just tie a little piece of string around that, but that is an adorable little pink gnome. And then I wanted to show you guys a way that you can make, if you want to use roping or some type of rope. I saw this done with some mop heads also. You could use those pieces, but if you have this trim is just kind of a nautical rope type thing, and I thought that it would work kind of nicely if it's frayed. But because it's so many little pieces of string right here, you really can't just attach that to the wood. I mean, you could, but it's not going to stay very long. So what you'll want to do is just kind of open it up like this, and then get a couple pieces of ribbon. And then you'll hot glue down one side, lay your roping in there, like that. And then we'll add some more glue on top of that and lay the ribbon right back down on top. So it'll catch most of those strings in there. Just like that. So that gives you more of a more realistic beard. And then once you get that all put together, you can go ahead and go around your piece of wood with that. So also, if you find some cute buttons, you can layer up buttons for the nose. Instead of having these little wooden balls or beads, you can add some buttons, layer those together. Just a single button like that would be cute too, but that's a great way to use rope if you have that laying around. Or the last one we're going to do is some string and a sweater. This is another sweater sleeve. Again, I get the sweaters pretty inexpensively, so it's a great way to use the sleeves of all these old sweaters. Another pink one. We're going to have two pink gnomes when we're done here. This sweater, I just cut the sleeve off of it, and then I tied the end together like this, and then turned it right side out again. Just like that. And then fold the bottom of your sleeve up, and that's what's going to go over the top of your board. And then for this guy, I wanted to show you how to make a little tassel for it. And then the beard also, I'm gonna do a matching beard. And I just have this string that I thought matched that really well. And so we're gonna go ahead and, if you guys take any sort of 2x4 like this and lay a string across it like this, I'll show you, I'll explain in a minute what this is for, but lay your string across it like this, and then start wrapping your other string around it. And this is how we're gonna make these. And that string that we laid this way is what we're gonna tie it across with to bring the string all together. So just like that. About that much. You can make these as thin or as thick as you want. I'm just gonna make a few thinner ones and then layer them for the beard. I thought that would kind of give it a nicer look. So then you just pull that off of your board like that, and then cut the bottom just like that. And so that's how you got all these little pieces. So then we're gonna put those across there as the beard. And again, we can just hot glue these on, and you can make these as thick or as thin as you want. As long as you want. Just don't be afraid to play and mix colors and kind of just pick what you like the look of and what matches your decor and go with that. Make sure those are stuck down. So like on this one, because that hat is a little bit shorter, I would go ahead and go with another layer of the beard to go up one more layer, and then put a couple on the sides too to make that a nice full beard. So I love the look of that, but then we're gonna do a little tassel on the hat as well. And so for that, we're just gonna take our string and wrap it around your fingers. That's the end of my string. All right, let's try that again. So go ahead and just wrap the string all the way around your hand. That's probably not quite thick enough. We'll do a little bit heavier tassel. There we go. Tuck your string inside all of that. Actually, wrong one, sorry. On this one, we're gonna wrap our string around the outside of all of that and tie it in a knot. And then we'll go in and cut the ends to make a cute little tassel for the end of our hat. Once you kind of have that all together, just cut off where it's long or where you don't like it, trim it up a little bit. And then if you've got a needle and thread, you could stitch that on the end of your hat, or you could just glue it, but there's another little gnome. Add one more layer of beard, and there you've got a cute little beard, gnome that way as well. So we used a sweater for this one, we used a scarf for this one. This is another scarf that already had the end on it. This is our t-shirt material that we cut up, and then this is, we just used the end of the scarf, and this is our string. So lots of different ways to do it, but I'm really glad that you guys joined me, and I'd love to see your finished products. Also, if you guys found any value in this video at all, I'd love it if you would like it or share my page. I'm trying to grow my audience and get more people to watch my page, so if you guys would do that for me, that would be really great. Thanks so much. Have a great night, everybody.